Uh, During an interview with, is it KTN or NTV? But I think it is KTN, uh, where I was being interviewed on other issues, and then it reached a stage where I talked of STEPHEN MBARAKA KARANJA. I just gave an example, and I said that this was not our operation. This was an operation from our cousins, the DCI, about STEPHEN MBARAKA KARANJA. I felt that I should expound on his case. We are different. DCI and NIS are different, but this was a purely DCI or CID as it was then called. That this is their work, and I'm just giving it as an expert opinion. This is what happened before I go to him, other stories. His wife, because at that time she was not sure whether he was dead, because if she was sure, and if it was true that everybody knew he was dead, then we would have said his widow. His wife entered a habeas corpus in a Nakuru court. Habeas corpus is where you are compelling the Inspector General to produce Mr. So-and-so, whether dead or alive. He's supposed to produce that person, whether dead or alive. If the person is dead, then the family is given the corpse to bury. And if the person is alive, the person is set free. Because by law, there is a given time in Kenyan law that is 24 hours, where you cannot put a person in custody for over 24 hours. So if it passes 24 hours, you enter habeas corpus so that the person is released. When she entered habeas corpus, it went to a High Court Justice, Frank Shield. I'm not sure, my neck top may be, but I think it is Frank Shield. The case was taken to Justice Frank Shield, whereby Frank Shield produced an habeas corpus where the police were supposed to produce the person, whether dead or alive. He was supposed to be produced and handed over to the family. The case was investigated, and the police came out and said, yeah, we killed him and buried him in a public cemetery in Nakuru. So the Justice Frank Shield, ordered that the person, the body be exhumed, a post-mortem be done, and the body be handed over to his widow. They went to the mortuary, looked for his body, but exhumed a few bodies, but found that none of the bodies there was his. And so the case went back to Frank Shield, and our cousins, the CID, went and talked to the prosecutor. Our cousins went and talked to the headquarters in Nairobi, and when it went up to the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice then tried to influence the judge. When you hear Mother Kaome saying that she has no control, if you hear people, political leaders, especially those in power, telling Mother Kaome to tell her magistrates and judges to have a case going in a certain direction, she says that even her, as a Chief Justice, she has no power to tell a judge to look for a case that is pointing this or that direction. Judges and magistrates according to the Kenya Constitution, a judge of the High Court cannot get instructions from a judge of a Court of Appeal or a Supreme Court or even the Chief Justice to be told that huyu mtu anaendelea sana, look for a way to... No. The judge or magistrate will convict you or based on two things alone. The judge or magistrate will convict you or acquit you based on the laws and the constitution of the land and to the evidence. Now, if the evidence is given to a court showing that you committed this or that, then against this section or that of the law of the constitution, then the judicial officer, who is a magistrate or a judge, will convict you. And if he doesn't, he will acquit you. Nobody can direct such a person as of today. But those days it used to happen. And you know, Frank Shield was a judge who had been employed from outside Kenya. So he was called aside by the then Chief Justice. If I'm not wrong, that one must have been Matthews Guy Mooley. He was told, go and do this and this. He said, no, I can't. Then the Chief Justice ordered that the file be transferred from that justice to another justice. That judge refused and said, no. First of all, for a case to be taken from me, I have to recuse myself. Or you have to have a compelling reason to show that I have a personal interest or I happen to know the litigants, so that you take the case to another person, to another judge. You cannot just take it. Now it was being taken to another judge who had been briefed to come up with a certain conclusion. Then the judge resigned and went back to his home country. He didn't stay for long. There is a country, I think in Asia, that hired him as the Chief Justice of that country. Now that is where the case is. Now what happened with this man? Whom is it that headquarters, CID headquarters, wanted the case to be hashed up? It happened that this man was an organizer of criminals. He could organize crimes, he could do whatever. And you see, police, especially police of that time, nowadays you get a graduate who is a constable. Me, I'm a Form 6. And when I joined the police, everybody was wondering, why is this highly educated person wanting to go for this job that is there for less learned people? I even worked with some officers who could not write in any other language. You could write anything for them, they just fingerprint that statement or that article. So nowadays we have constables, so we have intellectuals at the lowest rank, constable. But those days, it was that way. So it was known, and that is how you find people like Rashid obviously coming. It is known that this person is a criminal. But how do you deal with him? He is very clever. He has so many good lawyers. Yeah? I don't want to mention that lawyer in Mombasa who handles every cocaine or hard drug cases, and he has been marked by CIA. So you find he has very good lawyers. He has people who deal with the cases in such a way that you cannot deal with him. So our cousins, the CID, killed him. And you see there are three teams here. There is the team that killed him. There is a second team that took him and buried him in the public cemetery in Nakuru. Then there is a third team which came with a drunk. You see, somebody had taken a lot of changa in Nakuru, Ronda area, and was crossing a road without looking, and he was hit and killed. So team A kills him. Team B goes and buries him in public cemetery. So team A says, yeah, we killed him. How did you kill him? We shot him. That is a bullet wound. And team B says, we went and buried him in the public cemetery. Then there comes team C, which is not aware of team A and B, with the person who has been knocked, removes the corpse from the grave, and after removing it from the grave, replaces it with the other one and covers it and takes it to the national park. That day, hyenas did not sleep hungry. Now, when this whole thing comes, team B shows where the approximate area of the grave, and people start digging. What do they find? They find a person. Okay, let's say the man was slim, tall. They find a short person, a short, heavy person. The man was shot in the head. They find this one bled to death after being hit by a vehicle. They say, no, this is on the, let us exhume. So they go around an acre. You know, if you point a grave and they find that is not the person, so you go an acre where that is the exact midpoint of the grave. So you go to this direction, throughout, to make an acre and try and find out if there is somebody with similar features. You can never find that person. That person, if you want, you can go to hyena's toilet, if hyenas have got toilets, that is. So that is what happened to Karanja of Nakuru. Thank you.